Hi, Purple Potpourri here. This is the second in our Thursday series before Thanksgiving. And today we're dealing with my family's favorite pie that I make for Thanksgiving. Okay, apple pie is all about the apples. So today we're making it with Macintosh and Empire because that's what I have. But generally I like at least 3 different types of apples when I'm making pies. Before Thanksgiving, I go to the storage cooler. That's maybe about a half hour away, but I can pick out all different varieties of cooking apples, and I don't have to buy a bag at a time. So if I just want 3 of each, I can do it. And believe me, that makes the best pies. But let's get started by cutting up and slicing and peeling our apples. This is the way I like to do it. Just put my apple cutter on top. And then I just pound down, and there you go. And I pick them all out. Sometimes if I push on this, get them all out. I also sometimes when I do that though, get my finger. Now I save this in the peels for the deer. They love them. But now I just peel them. And you're going to want to keep doing this until you have 6 cups of apples. It really goes pretty fast. Now I have all of these peels and cores left over, so I'm going to bring those outside and put them on the edge of the woods. I'm sure the deer or raccoon or possum or maybe Sasquatch, whatever, would like to eat them. And we have our peeled apples here. They're in cold water so they don't turn brown. So I'm going to drain them and we'll get on with the next step. Mix your 1 1/4 to 1 1/2 cup sugar, depending on how sweet your apples are, 3 tablespoons flour, 1 teaspoon cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon nutmeg, and 1/4 teaspoon salt. And you want to mix it up really well. Your bowl here, you can see, used a fork and mixed it. And now we're going to pour it over the apples. And I suppose you could use a fork, but I always use my hands. And your object here is just to coat these apples really well with the sugar and the spices. Yeah, I think we got them good. I have to lick my fingers. And I'll be right back after I wash my hands and we'll get on to the next step. Now, I'm going to let you into a little secret. You probably think I make my crust from scratch. Well, I used to. I had a secret ingredient, a little vinegar, which made the crust very flaky. But once I didn't have time and I used, yes, Pillsbury pie crust. And my Aunt Beulah was over and she was a very, very good cook, great apple pie maker. And she said, you know, I can tell the difference. And I'm going, uh-oh. She says, this is a homemade crust. It's so nice and flaky. I'm really glad you took the time to make it. Well, of course, I didn't want to say I didn't. And from then on I realized if I could fool Aunt Beulah, who couldn't I fool? So I usually save time and use Pillsbury pie crust. But here's how I make it a little more special. Okay, first you want to put get that nice area. Make sure it's in there. And then you should let your crust be room temperature. And then you want to unroll it. kind of careful. And then just gradually unroll it. Now a lot of people just put some flour on it and then they put it on their pie. That is not what I do. Instead, I roll it out a little. So, roll it this way, roll it this way. It's harder rolling when the camera is really in front and I'm not in front. But you get the idea. Okay, so then, pick this up a minute. And we'll put our pie plate right here. And then we'll just easily dust off some of that flour. And then make it nice and cozy in its pie plate. Okay. That was pretty easy, wasn't it? And now we're going to dump in our apples. Now, I'm actually using, probably about 7-cup apples here. This is a deep dish, so I could use a little bit more. I'm scratching it all out, making sure I get all the goodness. And now let's arrange the apples a little. You can mound them higher in the middle. So, oops, sure. There, I think that looks pretty good. Okay, gonna wash my hands again. And on to the next part. Next, we want to put on 1 tablespoon of vanilla. Let's pour some in here. Okay. And then just splash it around. And at this time, you want to put in the lemon juice too. But I'm all out of lemon juice, so I'm going to skip it. It'll still turn out okay. And now we put in, we have cut up all of our 2 tablespoons of butter in little tiny bits. We're putting it in various places here in the pie. And you don't have to be real careful. Oops, that's kind of wet though. Just mix it up. A lot of people don't put butter in their pie, and I think it makes a difference. But everybody has their favorite recipes, and this is my family's favorite. Okay, now we're on to making the top crust. Yeah, we got plenty of flour here, so we just mix it up a little. Bring out our other piece. Start it right here. And we're going to do the same as we did before. And that's pretty good. Now we'll just bend this out of the way a minute. Bring in our pie. Carefully. Bring it over. Now let's just kind of fit it to our dish. Okay. Now scrunch up the ends. And there's various ways you can make this look pretty, but I'm just doing it fast and dirty right now. Just kind of rolling it over. Maybe there's a little too much right there. Okay. And we can take our little leaf here. Get it pointed the right way. Here we go. Make a cut right in there. And you want to take your fork, put plenty of holes so the juices can come out and it gets nice and hot. And that is really all there to it. Oh, except one more thing, and this is what makes it special. Of course, to my husband anyway. He loves his sweets. Take a little milk, and I dab it all around. And now I put the sugar on top. You know what? It's easier just doing it with my hands, sprinkling it. Oops, that's too big a piece, isn't it? And believe me, this milk and sugar makes the crust special. Okay, ready to put in the oven. Okay, so now you place it in 400-degree oven for about an hour, a little longer. I put a pan underneath because very often it drips. Just keep your oven clean. You want to cook it until the apples are tender. Hoping you can see that. I have a convection oven that's got some pre-programmed settings. So mine goes on fruit pies double crust. And I leave it in for an hour. The convection oven means the crust gets brown but doesn't burn. So here's the pie, fresh from the oven. And boy is it hot. It'll be a while until we can have a piece. So here it is, flaky goodness. Fortunately, I don't have any ice cream because I love ice cream with it too. God, that's good. Well, I hope you enjoyed our favorite pie for Thanksgiving. This is Pepper Potpourri saying, please subscribe and share the knowledge, and thank you so much for watching.